from... Ikeja Airport, and the drummers and the banners were out to welcome an important visitor, Prime Minister Dr. Kwame Nkrumah from Ghana. The plane was delayed an hour by engine trouble in Accra, but when Dr. Nkrumah eventually arrived, he received a warm welcome from the Prime Minister of the Federation, Alhaji Abubakar Tafawa Balewa. The Guard of Honor, 48 strong, was found by the 1st Battalion, the Queen's Own Nigeria Regiment, who brought their mascot along. Dr. Nkrumah carried out the inspection, his first official duty of a visit which was to last 12 days. After his stay in Lagos, tours were to be made of the 3 regions and the Cameroons. It was a fine opportunity for the Prime Minister to see how life is lived in a country soon to follow in the independent steps of his own. After the military ceremonies were complete, Dr. Nkrumah walked across to meet ministers and people important in the life of the federal capital. In the Prime Minister's party were Mr. Krobo Edusi, now Minister of Communications and Transport, Mr. Kojo Botsio, Minister of External Affairs, and Mr. Kofi Bako, Minister of Information and Broadcasting. From the airport, Dr. Nkrumah left for the federal ministerial residence, where he stayed during his time in Lagos. Later, there was a reception to welcome the distinguished guest to Nigeria. Alhaji Abubakar Tafawa Balewa posed with his visitor. For this was a historic occasion, the first time that a Prime Minister of an independent Ghana had visited the Federation. Then both Prime Ministers awaited the arrival of His Excellency the Governor-General and Lady Robertson. Again, there were more pictures to pose for. There can be no doubt that many topics relating to West Africa's future would be discussed during the next 12 days, and many personal friendships made, which would help towards the establishing of a close understanding between Nigeria and Ghana. The police band provided the music, and the party was attended by some 500 guests. During his stay in Lagos, Dr. Nkrumah went to the new naval headquarters at Apapa, known as Her Majesty's Nigerian ship Kwara. He came by launch from Government House. The naval force is the youngest of Nigeria's fighting services. It became part of the armed forces in May 1958, but over a year earlier, training of the first entry of junior ratings had begun. The basic course lasts for 6 months and includes every aspect of life afloat. The name of the station is, of course, a historic one, for in 1832, the Kwara was one of the first ships ever to go up the River Niger. There can be no doubt that Dr. Nkrumah found this visit extremely interesting. The more so because for the first time, and to quote Sir James Robertson, Nigeria has her own navy, in which Nigerians may serve on the high seas for the protection of their country. After taking farewell of Mr. A.G. Gardner-Brown, the acting Deputy Governor-General, Dr. Nkrumah left for his next visit to the Yaba Trade Center. At the center, he was welcomed by the Federal Minister of Education, the Honorable Aja Nwachukwu, the Principal of the Center, Mr. W.T. Konke, and the Permanent Secretary to the Ministry of Education, Mr. V.H.K. Littlewood. The Yaba Center is an important part of the system of training young men for trade and industry. With the great expansion programs which are underway, Nigeria needs skilled craftsmen well versed in modern techniques, and at Yaba, the work of providing them is being carried out. Dr. Nkrumah saw many aspects of the center, including the fitting, turning, and cabinet-making shops. The Motor Engineering Department also came in for close inspection, and wherever he went, the 49-year-old Prime Minister of Ghana received a warm welcome from the students. Then to the Mainland Hotel for a civic luncheon given by the Lagos Town Council. Oba Adele, the